Morning, guys. We're finally doing a little Q&A, potato diet-ish Q&A. And just kind of random, like not random, but everyday kind of questions I've been getting recently. I try and answer all the questions that I get in like comment form, but sometimes it's easier. I mean, I'll always answer questions in a written comment, but sometimes it's easier just to kind of speak and answer just so it doesn't get like lengthy and kind of crazy. So there's a bunch of questions that we got. A lot of people asked sort of similar questions. So I've got some from my phone and my computer, and we'll just kind of do it this way. I'll try and keep this short and not keep you guys really, real long. So yeah, here we go. So Cameron asks, sorry if you mentioned this in your video before, but do you track your calories and macros, and do you have a limit on beers you drink per week? I've mentioned this in other videos. I don't drink during the week. I only drink on weekends, and when I do drink beers on the weekends, I typically try and share them with whoever I'm hanging out with, whether it's friends that are over or if there's family or my wife. I'll share them. I try not to drink entire beers to myself, like multiples over and over, just because, I mean, caloric wise, it's tough to do that and kind of stay fit. It's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But yeah, I try and share them. So that helps. If there's no one around to share, then I'll drink beer, and when I'm done drinking, I'm done drinking. So as far as tracking calories and macros, I was very militant about it. I actually use MyFitnessPal, and the other day I logged in, and I think it's like 5 years something in a row. So I've done that, but since starting the whole potato diet thing, there's a potato cleanse group on Facebook, and a lot of people on that cleanse talk about the point of it is to kind of get to where you don't have to worry about freaking out about calories that you're getting, so you stop tracking food. So for the last, I think 11 days, I haven't actually written everything down, and it's really liberating, I'll tell you. It's been great. So yeah, I mean, obviously if you're gonna follow that and track your calories and your macros, figure out what works for you. Whether you're doing like 50, 40, 40 or whatever you're doing, as far as, for those who don't know, macros or macronutrients, fat, carbohydrates, and protein, people will track that. So yeah, if you're gonna do that, just find what works for you, a ratio that works for you, and do it. It's a great way to really understand what you're eating. I didn't really realize how much I was actually eating until I wrote everything down and tracked everything. So it was a big thing for me when it came to weight loss, doing that. So it's not a bad thing to do. It is a pain if you're going to do it and be like really, really militant about it, like I said, but it can really, really help you. It helped me a lot in the beginning. So, all right, next question from my man Brendan. He had said, I may not necessarily go on a full plant-based diet, but I want to incorporate more veggies into my diet, especially during the middle part of my day during work. Awesome, you should do that. Are there any websites or links you know of where I can see macros? Again, there's the macro thing, counting calories, and different recipes. It would be very helpful. A lot of people have asked about, are there websites I can go for recipes? The best website that I found when I was first starting into this plant-based diet was vegkitchen.com, vegkitchen.com. Tons and tons and tons of vegetarian and vegan recipes. It's awesome. Seriously, go there. It's like the mecca of, that I know of anyways, that has plant-based diet recipes. There's obviously cookbooks. One of the first cookbooks I ever got, I think I might have mentioned this before, somebody gave me the Thug Kitchen cookbook, and that cookbook's awesome. It's hilarious. It does have bad language, but if you don't mind that, it's really, really cool. All right, next question's from my man Faisal. He said, I have a question. What's the shelf life on the cashew sour cream that you make? I made some 3 days ago, and I feel like it tastes better today. Just wondering how long I can keep it in the fridge. I've kept that, as long as you keep it in a good container, like a seal-tight, an airtight container in the fridge. I've had cashew sour cream, if I don't eat it instantly, last a good like 7 to 10 days. Your miles may vary, obviously. But yeah, a good at least a week it'll last. And I kind of agree with that. It tastes better as it kind of sits and like all those different ingredients kind of hang out together. The cashew sour cream is actually, I've talked about this a bunch, a hot for food recipe. If you just go on YouTube and put hot for food cashew sour cream. Also, going back to the website questions, the Hot for Food blog has awesome recipes. They're much more detailed, and there's a lot more like different ingredients that you have to use for those, but really, really fun if you want to make some fun plant-based stuff. All right, next question is from Brian. It says, "Hey Joe, I know you're busy, but with all the hot days, it's really, really hot right now in the summertime. Was wondering what blender food processor you would recommend for smoothies, and any suggestions on what to put them to keep it plant-based." I use a Vitamix. Now, I realize Vitamix is really, really expensive. It's when I first got into getting, got into making smoothies. I just went to like Target, I think, and bought a random, like a Black and Decker blender, and it was okay. When I was kind of over that, I went, like, the next step for me was to buy a Ninja blender, and I bought that blender and I used that for a while, and I finally was like, you know what, screw it. It was an investment for me. A Vitamix was. If you go during, I've said this to people before too. If you go during like a holiday time, like on Amazon, a lot of times they'll have like holiday specials where a Vitamix will be like 10% off, 15% off. You'll get free shipping, all that stuff. I got my Vitamix blender, I think 5 years ago. It's almost been 6 years now, but I paid $325 for it. And people were like, holy shit, that's expensive. It is, but like I said, it was an investment for me. I use that thing almost every single day. So it's the best thing you could do. If you're ready to like take on this lifestyle and you want to be a smoothie person, that's the best thing to do. Ninja blenders are probably half the price. I think they're like $99 at Costco, but you're not going to get the consistency in your smoothies as you are as a Vitamix or like a Blendtec. Blendtec's also an awesome blender too. Those are the blenders that you see like at Starbucks, where they make all their like frappuccinos and stuff. Same kind of thing. High speed blenders are amazing. You can like look at garage sales. You can go on like eBay to see if you can find refurbished ones because they'll come with warranties. Do that. It's absolutely worth it. Next comment comes from my man Steve. Taking it one day at a time for now. Feels really good to eat plant-based. You have inspired me. Thank you. One day at a time is the best way to do it. That's all we can do, right? Just kind of one day at a time. The better you can eat, the more changes you can make subtly in your diet, the better that you're going to be off, and the better you'll feel. So props to you, my friend. Keep it up. All right, then the next comment comes from, you heard it here first on YouTube. Because of your potato diet, the wife and I made sweet potato salad the other night, and it was awesome. Cheers. That is awesome to hear. Sweet potato salad is amazing. I know that in my potato videos, I haven't used like a lot of sweet potatoes. I'm more of just a regular russet potato guy. So I do like sweet potatoes. I made sweet potato waffles at one time. They were great. Or sweet potatoes are great. The waffles aren't as good as like regular russet potato waffles. Just because all the sugar in it, it just kind of like gets burnt parts and it doesn't really work very well. But yeah. Next question / comment comes from Russell. I'm on day 2 of the potato diet, just trying it out to see if I feel less sluggish by eliminating meat every day. I've been eating the shit out of bananas for a few days, which is weird because I don't typically eat them. Now I need to find a soda replacement since I can't drink just plain water. I need flavor. Curious as to what or where you acquire your alternative foods. So the whole soda thing, I feel your pain. I used to be a soda addict. I think I talked about this in other videos. I was drinking like close to a 12-pack of diet soda a day. And when I turned 30, I quit cold turkey. I was like, I have to stop. So I was big on sparkling water, flavored sparkling water, because they don't have like any kind of sugar. There's no additives. There's none of it's 0-calorie mineral water that has like flavoring. So like LaCroix, if you go to Costco, you can buy cases. I think it's either a case or 30 cans of LaCroix for, I want to say it's like $7. Those are awesome. Costco also has Crystal Geyser, which is, I think you get 24 16-ounce bottles for like $8.99. I mean, if you want to spend the extra money, Perrier, really, really good, but it's like $17 at Costco for like a 20-pack, so I usually don't go that route, but yeah, anything you can drink that doesn't have like artificial sweeteners or sugar added to it is an awesome way to get off of kind of like the soda thing. Soda's a tough thing to kick. I know my man Tony said the same thing. He had commented on one of my videos saying, I can't quit soda, I'm having a really, really hard time. What do you drink? When I first started doing it with the flavored water, I'd have to go back and look though. It might have like sweeteners or sugar. Crystal Light, I would buy the little packets of like lemonade and just mix it with water and drink that because it was 0 calorie. That was the thing with me. Like, I was so overweight, I couldn't drink calories anymore. And that's why I went from regular soda to diet soda, but it kind of made it worse because I would drink the diet soda that had artificial sweeteners, and I would crave more junk food and eat more junk food as a result of it. So it was not a good thing. But yeah, sparkling water has been a lifesaver for me. I mean, I've been drinking the crap out of that for like the last 6 years straight. So I haven't missed soda at all. I really haven't. Every now and again, you've seen in my videos, I'll have an energy drink, which is not like drinking a soda, but I think like in my brain, when I drink that, it kind of curbs that weird subliminal soda craving I might have. So, and there's sodas that are vegan. You can look those up if you want. Where do I buy alternative foods? I think he was talking about in my one potato video, we made chicken and waffles, and I used Gardein chicken. I do most of my shopping at Sprouts if you have that in your area. They have a bunch of awesome plant-based kind of protein alternatives. Whole Foods obviously has them. They're a lot more expensive. But places now too, I think like Walmart and Target both are carrying a lot of Gardein and Beyond Meat products. So yeah, if you are anywhere near any of those, it's all in the frozen food section. So just go and look. I've noticed lately in the frozen food areas of stores, there's like signs everywhere that say like plant-based protein. It's pretty cool. What a time to be alive, right? I mean, back when I started this almost 5 years ago, it wasn't nearly as hard as it was for some people who've been doing this for like 10 or 15 years. But even now, I mean, there's vegan restaurants everywhere now. It's crazy. All right, the next comment slash question came from my man Nick. I'm wanting to start the potato diet. What's the best source to use for information? If you want to do like the potato cleanse, it's really strict. If you're looking like maybe for like a 30-day thing to do, if you go to bananawisdom.wordpress.com, there is a file that's there that shows like the rules you can follow for the banana cleanse, or I'm sorry, for the potato cleanse. Bananawisdom.com or bananawisdom.wordpress.com. She's got a thing there that shows like all the rules of like what is potato cleanse approved. Also, if you just Google Dr. John McDougall and potato diet, you'll see a bunch of stuff there too. So that's a great place to get like potato information. Next comment slash question. Actually, this is more of just a comment, and this is awesome, so I'm going to read it. From Ryan. Thanks for sharing all your food vlogs. While I don't do 100% vegan, I do enjoy a lot of the stuff you've shown. Potato burritos and buffalo cauliflower wraps are fantastic, part of my weekly diet. That's awesome. I've been eating smarter all year, limiting my beer drinking to weekends, and as of yesterday, this was a couple weeks ago, I've dropped 34 pounds since January. That is fucking awesome, Ryan. I'm seriously stoked to hear that. It's not magic. Eating plants does that. When you take out all the kind of bad stuff from fast foody kind of stuff and junk foody kind of stuff, it's really amazing stuff. So good on you. Keep it up. That's freaking awesome. Next question. I don't even know how to say this name. TA12 Dank Discoveries on YouTube. Do you eat all organic? All the pesticide residues definitely can't be good for you with conventional produce. I try and eat as organic as possible, as much as my budget will allow me. It can be really expensive to eat organic. I try and buy organic potatoes, though since I've been doing this potato diet, I've been buying 20-pound bags of potatoes from Costco because they're cheap. But if you Google Dirty Dozen produce, the list of the 12 most like pesticide-ridden fruits and vegetables is what I try and buy organic no matter what. After that, it's, again, if you can afford it, do it. If not, just make sure you wash your vegetables before you eat them. I mean, I would assume a lot of people wash their food before they eat it, hopefully. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe or not, but I totally get it that eating organic can be way more expensive. So if you can't do it, you can't do it. Just do the best that you can. It's the best advice I can give. Next comment is from Steven. I actually achieved my leanest physique eating a high-starch diet. I 100% believe you when you say that. I typically eat 2 pounds of potatoes a day along with other foods. If you maintain an overall caloric deficit, by the end of each week you will get leaner. Potatoes make eating at a deficit easy because it's the most satiating food you can eat. 100% agree. I mentioned this in one of my little potato diet videos when I was walking the one day. Potatoes are super satiating. It's like one of the most filling, most satisfying foods I've ever eaten, and I've realized that doing this for the last, we're on day 24. I think we're getting ready to come up to 30 days. Someone had said that too. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, are you just going to stop eating potatoes after 30 days? I'm not. I'm going to continue eating this way for the foreseeable future. So That's the way that it goes. Potatoes are awesome. Here's just another comment. JMR, Joe, you inspired a fat guy with 4 young boys under the age of 13 to change his diet. I've let myself go, but no more. I'm starting out 1 day a week with no animal products. Fuck, I hope this works. It will work for you. I promise. And this is probably where we can kind of go. A lot of people have asked, how do you start? What do you do? What did you do? So he's saying, I'm starting 1 day a week. That's basically what I did back in 2013. We did the whole Meatless Monday thing. And I did that for, I want to say probably a month and a half. I did Meatless Monday, made sure 1 day a week I was eating no meat. You have to start slow, start small. There's people, I've talked about it before, they kind of go cold turkey. Those people are crazy awesome. I couldn't do that. So I feel like a lot of us set ourselves up for failure. Just any diet that you do. I remember just all the times I would do like stupid like challenges and diets. It would be like, starting tomorrow, not going to eat this for 3 months. Starting tomorrow, not going to eat this for 6 months. Starting tomorrow. For me, and I still, almost 5 years later, I don't ever say I'm never going to eat a certain food ever again, just because I don't think that works well with my brain. Every time I'm out with someone or somewhere, and they'll be like, oh, you can't eat that, right? My answer to that is I can eat whatever I want. I just choose not to. And I think like mentally that really, really helps. If I were to wake up tomorrow and say I'm never having something ever again, it becomes daunting, and that's all you think about, and you just obsess over it, and you want it more and more. So don't say I'm never going to have this again. Just say, for right now, for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to have it. I think that works well. Me saying I'm never going to eat steak again would be probably setting myself up for failure. I don't see myself eating it in the future, but if I were to say I'm never doing that again, it might be like troublesome for me. I'm not sure. But yeah, start slow. And we're kind of rambling, sorry. That's what I did. Started out once a week, and then I started doing twice a week, 3 times a week, and then I started doing, I'm going to have 2 meals a day that have no animal products. Twice a week, I'm going to have 3 meals a day, 3 times a week. So it would be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be meatless. Tuesday, Thursday, I would give myself an option. And I built that up until I got to the point where I called myself a weekday vegan. And I would eat completely plant-based during the week. And I would leave the weekends open for situations where if something came up, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I did that I actually did that for the last 4 years. And the more you cut things out and the more plant-based you eat, the less of the days, like your cheat days or like your okay days to eat whatever you want, you just kind of stop picking those things to eat, if that makes sense. Like on the weekends, I'd be like, oh, I could have a cheeseburger if I want, but I never really wanted it because I wasn't eating it during the week. And if I decided to if something came up and we went to a barbecue and I had it, it made me feel so bad, like physically. I've talked about this, like all the stomach issues that I had. It's funny, I was getting ready to travel and I packed a backpack the other day that I hadn't traveled with in a long time, and there was a big box of Imodium in it. I used to take Imodium like 2-3 times a week, every single week. It was crazy. But yeah, getting back to that, I kind of would go, and when weekends came and other things were there, I didn't choose them because I didn't want them anymore. So definitely start small, but if you want to give yourself that kind of, once a week, I'm going to allow myself that. Twice a week, I'm going to allow myself that. Or, hey, 1 meal a day a week. Like, I'm going to allow myself 1 meal every day where I can eat whatever I want. As long as you're doing that, that's fine. Because it means the other meals, you're eating so much more fruits and vegetables, whole grains. Like, it makes sure you're eating, you want to be eating whole plant foods. You don't want to do, like, the whole junk food thing. It kind of, I don't know, you kind of wean yourself off of it. That's the easiest way, I think, to describe it. My whole thing with like having the weekends open, if there was a holiday and we were like doing get-togethers with family and there was no other option, I would eat whatever and not feel bad about it. I mean, physically the next day I would suffer from it, but I wouldn't feel bad about it. So I would say start small, just like you're doing. 1 day a week is awesome because that 1 day, if you're just eating a ton of plant foods, you'll start craving that. Your taste buds change, like the way you think about food changes, and start just read up about it, watch things. nutritionfacts.org is an awesome website to go to. You can see all kinds of like medical research about what plant-based diets can do. Start watching stuff that you're uncomfortable with. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. They say that with like working out too, right? Like push your limits. Do that with the internet. There's plenty of stuff you can watch. Go watch footages of slaughterhouses. Go watch footages of, whatever you can get your hands on and see like where your food comes from. If you can watch all that stuff and you're still okay with eating it, then continue eating it. I've watched enough pretty gnarly stuff to where it kind of helped me along with my process. So yeah, good on you though for doing that. That's awesome. So yeah, that's going to end the Q&A. Like I said, there was a lot of questions that were kind of similar. So if we need to do a part 2 of this, we will. If you guys have any other questions about things, feel free to leave comments. You can always, you can tweet questions at me if you want. You can leave questions on my Instagram. You can leave questions in YouTube comments. But yeah, you guys have been awesome as far as like all the interaction we've had with the plant-based stuff on this channel. Like I said, I know this is mainly a beer reviewing channel, but it seems that everyone's kind of into this and a lot of people are trying to make changes. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys. We'll be wrapping up the potato diet here in the next week. And yeah, I'll do my final. I got stuff going on. It'll probably be like 32 or 33 days total. We won't stop at 30 days, but I'll do my final weigh-in sometime next week and we'll see, kind of do a recap how I felt and kind of what we're going to do moving forward. So yes, very much appreciate all the comments, questions. Thank you so much for everyone who participated in this, and I will see you guys.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the views so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.